Hello and welcome back. Hopefully I'm not talking too loud. We're doing test number 2. Trying to get our volume mixing levels to a satisfactory level. I did an initial test there earlier today, and although this won't upload till tomorrow, we're trying to see if we can't get that straightened away. Anyways, we're here in the John Deere, and we are on Jones Dairy Farm, and working with the Courseplay here right now. I'll bring it up for you and let you see what's going on there. We have our course plotted, and we're just checking to see. Apparently there was an update through GitHub, and so far as I can tell, we're meeting with success. There was a problem with the headlands and turns, especially in the long-necked seeders like this. They would end up in a perpetual 360 reverse maneuver every time they were trying to do a turn within the headlands, or even joining the actual plotted course. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Oh, I'm out of the... darn it. I can't show it to you because I'm out of the tractor, okay? We're going to have to wait till we come around to it. But basically, these blue lines are the plotted lines. If you don't know how Courseplay works, it's actually a really neat feature. Within the game, you can do a lot of things with it, like empty your harvesters and have a pre-planned route to empty the harvesters either at a sell point or in your silos. Don't ask me yet how that works, because I'm still figuring that part out myself. I did not use Courseplay in FS19. My brother did, and he raved about it. I never quite got around to it. The way I was playing it, I didn't really see the need for it, but you know what? That was kind of a narrow point of view, and since I've been actually using it, which he constantly tried to encourage me to do, but of course I was too stubborn to see the value in it. But now, having worked with it, I do see the value in it, and I also see it's actually fun to do. It does definitely add something to the game, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Now you can see these blue lines. See where that stop sign is there, right there. That is the end of the course plot. These blue lines here are what the tractor is following, and you can see the little arrows on there. It's kind of directional. It's going to go around the entire field here, if you look at my cursor, twice, and then it's going to join the up-down rows. Now if I go like this, you can actually see where I am in the course plot. Now, coming up on this next corner, and we're testing out this beta version. It's still in beta, Courseplay. It should connect now to this second, what they call a headlands, to create room for you to do your turns on what would be tight fields. Now, obviously, this field is not very tight, so it wouldn't be necessary, but let's see what it does here, because before it would just not do the second headlands, and as a matter of fact, even in the first one, when it came to doing these 90-degree turns, this thing got all screwed up, and it ended up, like I say, in a constant 180 or 360 degree reverse. Now let's see what it's going to do here. Now it should follow this. Now it's backing itself into position here. Let me just get rid of this for a moment. And yeah, there it goes down. And yes, it did in fact now join the second round of the Headlands course that I plotted. So let me bring this back up again, and you can see where we are. There we are, in a little blue diamond. We're heading down this second leg now in what is the second round, and I'll show it to you. I have 2 headland passes set around. If that was too quick for you, let me go back again. There's 2 ways to set Courseplay. One is right from this, and you can set things up, and you can rotate fields up and down and whatever have you. I think I moved that by accident. I like to go to the gear sprocket here. You just go here, set your field. You can set a current position. Usually when you start at a field, the direction be automatic. You don't need to worry about any of this stuff. The headlands, again, is this outer marker circle that we're doing around the field, so that when it comes to going up and down the field, we've created a lot of space on what could be tight fields. Maybe there's a ditch there or a fence, and you can go up and down. I should get out of this for a moment to see what is he doing. Is he actually making the turn correctly? And it would appear that he is, which is really a major step forward, because it's been one of the problems in beta that they've been wrangling with. And hats off to these guys. They're working hard. A lot of the black magic programming, as they're referring to it, within FS19's new game engine, has been giving these guys conniptions, if you understand the term. It's very difficult to work with. Things are very different than most games, not only just 17. And I'm really glad to see he is making these 90-degree turns, not only in the headlands, but it's going to work out that they should work in the turns as well. Like previously, the turns, like in the regular up-down, these up-down rows in here, they weren't too bad. Occasionally it would get screwed up, but it originated from this backing up to get lined up with the next direction. Especially on longer wheel-based, i.e. bridge rule equipment. Bridge rule is a technical term of the distance between the pivot point here at the hitch and the center of the rear axle. If you have more than one axle, it's the center of the two axles in between them, divided in half. If you have three axles, it would be the center of the second axle, whatever is the center of the pivot point. And it looks like he's actually doing it. So this is you're seeing it for the first time, just like me. I just installed it. It just came out tonight. And if you didn't see it, you need to go to GitHub and look for the branch on GitHub for what they're calling Headlands Turn Fix. And it's a whole new Courseplay, but it's a sub branch, I guess. I don't know the terms. I don't exactly understand how they do it, but they're calling it a branch. So you just look for Courseplay Headlands branch, and you'll see the entire Courseplay you can just download. And I'm using it, and it seems to be working very good. And I purposely used this long wheel-based, i.e. long bridge rule implement to test it out. So we're coming around to the real crunch, another one, shall I say, which is transitioning. Now, you would think it would transition up here. I always was curious about how they plotted their courses, because I go all the way down an already completed lane. It doesn't have the implement in the ground, but it makes me travel all the way to the bottom before it'll pick up this lane. Why, when I got to here, they can't pick up this lane right here and bridge it here and keep me working? I don't understand. Maybe it's the math of the lines. I don't know. I haven't actually taken the time to figure it out. I'm assuming there's a good reason for it. I just don't know what it is. And if there isn't a good reason, maybe I'm pointing out something to them. Why am I traveling down this previously worked lane to pick up the next lane here instead of transitioning up here? But anyways, we're about to find out, you and me both, whether this is going to happen. Let me take this down. Screen's a little busy. Go back beside the tractor where it's maybe a little quieter. I'm not sure of my volume levels. I'm using a camera mod, as they call it. That's how I'm doing all this, and I'm zooming in on things. And if you weren't already aware, having read the description, I'm recording this at a true 2K, which is 2715 by 1527. So it's over 1440. 1440, I hate to be repetitive, but 1440 is 1.78 times 1080p, which 1080p is also known as 1K. That's how you get 2K and 4K if you didn't know. So 2K would be exactly double the resolution of 1K. Well, double 1080 is not 1440, it's 2715 by 1527. 1440 is 1.78 times 1080p. Okay, so now he did lift the implement, which is good. And we are headed down. Go for a little ride here. We're going down to the next transition point. And we'll bring that back up again just so we can see. Yeah, here we are. We're traveling down here. And he should do basically a 180 and then start working again up this lane and then do a 90 and come back. You know, he probably does a little bit of a backup, starts on the next lane. And if in fact it does all this, I am so relieved, because this has been a big problem with utilizing Courseplay. It just didn't want to do the headlands, which you need to have working in order to use on these tight fields. And again, hats off to these guys. They're doing it for free, guys. You know, and believe me, I what little I know of programming, it's a very menial job in the sense that takes a lot of time. It's not just click, 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 and away we go. I mean, if you were to look at the code, you'd be just like, what the heck are you even looking at? And to figure things out, the actual brain power involved, I'm sure people get tired. Okay, so what's he gonna do here? He's supposed to join. Okay, all right, let's see what he does. He's supposed to join this line coming up right here. So he's gonna make a turn, and then he might make another backup turn, lining the implement up to head up the next lane. I don't know what exactly he'll do. He might just start into the lane. Oh, look at that. He just starts into the lane, and they didn't miss anything either back here on the corner. I would call that a success. And I think maybe what I'll do is put a link to this to the guys at GitHub and the programmers, because they're waiting for people to test it. I heard a couple guys, oh, I'll get to it on the weekend and all this stuff. Well, you know what? When you've been working that hard at getting something going, it surely would be nice to see some instant response. And I'm sure there are other guys out there that'll do it. But I'm going to be one of them. How's that? And I would have to declare this new branch of the Headlands turn fix to be a raging success, because like I say, I am using a long wheel-based implement, and it seemed to not end up in that endless turn. Let's see it do a complete 90 here. Still a little piece missing there. It's not a perfect thing yet, but I'll tell you, this is a huge improvement over what was been going on. Back off here a little bit from the noisy machine. Now I notice these are very tight together, and again, it might be just the math in dividing the field, the reason they do this way. I'm sure they have their reasons. I'm sure it hasn't eluded their... Ooh, that was close. He almost got into an over control there, and he stopped short just before he did, and that's why that little space left on the end over there that did not get covered. But let's see what he does here. So far, I would still call this a raging success, a roaring success, if you like, over what has been so far. And so for the benefit of the guys at GitHub, and again, this is only a test, it's not an episode. Maybe it is an episode. Maybe, maybe you're learning something here. But anyways, I'll continue the episode here. I had to collect my thoughts there. I'm not scripted. Like I say, this isn't an actual episode. I don't have a list written out, okay, the things I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to do. Kind of just chewing the fat off on the fly here, flying by the seat of my pants, as it were. See, now here I don't... Yeah, okay, now, I was going to say, I don't see why he would back up all the way around, because he's got all this headlands now, so he's doing the right thing. He's turning within the field that's already done. So we're still got, I believe, we still have turn on field activated. Yes, we do. So once you have plotted this course, again, this is the settings for plotting, and this is, you bring this up and down for, showing the course. You don't have to have it up, and it'll just show the beginning and the end of the course, which is, not even being rendered. But you would go to here, this is where you would plot your course, and you can plot your headland here. But again, I like doing it from this spot, and you just do it all here, and then you can see it plotted on this map that comes up and where you are and everything else. And once you then hit space or click on it with your mouse to generate the course for a field that you've not done, let me bring that up again. Shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I'm not sure exactly what that does. Did I just double the course? No, I didn't. Once this is all, you would put your field number in here. Once you have generated this course and you go back, you will notice that this is set for a sprayer. That's what this one is, like something you would spray. What's happening here? I think I screwed it up there. That's my fault. So what I can do, let me bring this around. Yeah, it's still doing that, is it? Let me X that out. I think you have to get in and out to get it to drive. I did that. That's my mistake. I don't know what exactly that extra feature does there. But what I can do is bring it back around. Now, I haven't actually saved this course, but I haven't cleared the course, which is, this clears the course. This closes the course play. I haven't cleared the course. So what I can do is bring it back around so it looks like it's about in the right position here. And instead of starting the course at the first waypoint, I can start at the nearest waypoint. And again, if I was to bring this up, you'll see, oh, I'm out slightly here. Let me close that and bring up the actual, okay, so yeah, I am out a bit here. It wants to be in this lane. And just put the tractor under one of these waypoints, and then I'm going to start the course again at the nearest waypoint and just click on drive course. And he should drop the implement, and yeah, we're seeding again, and I've corrected my boo-boo in hitting this thing, which was lit up at the time. I don't know what this is in conjunction to this. Again, I don't know everything about this. But, okay, so what I was trying to tell you is once you've generated this course, you can now save the course, which is, and I'll just change this to field 1 because this is where we are. For some reason I changed that. I can just come over here on the save button. Each implement has a different working width, like harvester, lime, a seeder, a plow. They're all slightly different, so the course will be slightly different. Okay, so you need to save them. So I'm just going to call this field 1, and this is the Amazon seeder, which is predominantly what I do. And I just hit enter, and that saves. Now when I look here, this is the globe. This is where all your saved courses are. There's a field 1 line, and down the bottom here, there it is. Oh, it's still at the top, is the Amazon field 1. Now there was another one there. I'm not sure which one is which here. I have to go back and look now. I may have duplicated that. Okay. So this closing the course play just gets rid of the dialog box. It doesn't actually stop the course play. To stop the course play, there would be an X here for when he's done, and you can just stop it there. If you want to just stop them altogether, you can just stop the driver, and he'll just stop, and then you can clear the course and go to the globe and reload another course if you like. Now I'm curious to see, I'm going to close that. For some reason, this is one of the bugs. I got to get out, get back in, because the tractor wouldn't move. Okay, so now if I bring up Courseplay, which course is this? This looks like it could be. I'm going to X that one out. What course is this? Again, I think they look the same. I'll just double check that. It certainly looks the same to me. I'm going to close that one and open this one again. Yeah, no, this is the one that is garbage. This is the, I can tell because of where it wants to join in and where the start point was. This is all wrong. So this one is garbage. So if I go to this one, whoops, now I just doubled the courses. See, now it says 2 combined courses. So I need to clear that. And I'll load this one. And this is the one that I had originally plotted. So I can just go back here and start from the nearest waypoint and drive the course. And we'll, oops, what did I just do? Oh, I know what I just did. That's why I was looking at the top of the field, like one lane looked like it already half been done, and I thought we were done with that. And that's because I changed the course. So anyways, the guys at GitHub are watching this. Yeah, laugh, laugh, laugh. Okay, so I'm going to start from the nearest waypoint here. We got a little bit of duplication going on over the next 2 lanes, but that's how it goes. You know what? I know what's happening here. It's because when I changed this course around, I see what's happening, yeah. See, this looks more even to me. It looks like less duplication. No, there's that duplicate line right there. These 2 right here. I'm looking at the on-screen here of the plot. They're too narrow together. And I guess that must be the math and dividing the lanes up. Anyways, we're going to end up with a bit of a screw up here, but that's all my fault. Found it interesting that he didn't just use the headlands here to do that turn, but again, I kind of messed up the course. It may not know what the headlands is at this point. I don't know how I screwed it up, but I'll take the blame for that. I confused it. But I would consider this a raging success for fixing the problem with the headlands and the 90-degree turns. So we're going to test it out on something else here. I can leave this guy to doing this. Here, I'll get rid of the extra plotting there. We don't need that anymore. And a nice feature is I had another unit running the Courseplay, and it tells me that that unit is reached its trigger point or end point. I can just click on that blue square and I'm instantly in that machine. So let's stop the driver, close this course, close this off, and you see the unplowed or unseeded corner areas because I was using smoothing in this multi-cornered field because the turns were just not working. And that was based on the last version of Courseplay, which changes sometimes once or twice a day. It's in beta, it's constantly being worked on. So if you have Courseplay, make sure you have the GitHub address and check it, you know, every time before you start playing the game. Or if you're going to play the game all day, check it, you know, a couple times there and update your Courseplay version. You may find vast improvements. And yeah, this isn't just the latest version of Courseplay. This is a special branch to do with the headlands. Whoops, I took the plow or the cedar head up there. A couple of missed spots here, and again, these are things that are working out. Remember, this Courseplay is in beta. Anyway, so I've spent this whole episode, if you want to call it that, talking about Courseplay. And not a whole lot about the Jones Dairy Farm, which is a fairly new map. It's got a couple bugs. It does. It's not perfect, but again, you know, hats off to these guys. They're working hard. They're doing it for free. So you have to show some appreciation here, people. But yeah, no, it's a pretty map, and it's not cluttered. like if I'm locked at 70 frames. If I take that frame rate um, lock off, you know, I can, okay, what's this fella doing? Oh, he just stopped thinking he shouldn't plow this, but I think he should. He's probably going to stop again because he doesn't want to plow seeded ground. No, he's going to carry on. Okay, good stuff. It's a pretty map, and it's not cluttered. And, you know, again, I'm running at 2715 by 1527, so a true 2K. And I'm still sitting at, you know, I average anywhere between 90 and 100 frames. Plus, I'm not using a capture card. I'm using Shadowplay, you know. And that's partly why my 1070 Ti, it's not sitting over 2100. I think when I'm using the Shadowplay for whatever reason, it tends to knock it back slightly. And I don't know exactly why, but I'm sure it has to do with hardware utilization. Anyways, I don't know if you can go in here. I'm sure you can open the door. Let's see if we can open the door here. Yes, we can. First time over here. That's pretty. Love the color red in here. Very nice looking building. So yeah, I think we'll call this one a wrap. I'll just do a little flyby here as I let me slow it down here a little bit. It's a little bit quick. Just going to do a little bit of a roam around the farm here. And there's the cow shed. And no, it's not my game that rendered the cows that way. That's actually, if you were watching the last episode, that was the way Giants is doing it now. Also went to the Victorian house, which I showed in the last episode. Here's my chicken coop. I put a my own large barn in here, cow pasture if you like. But I think it's a pretty map. I think it was well laid out. You got lots of fields to play with. It is a dairy farm, so it's giving you a head start if that's what you like to do. But I don't see any forestry on here, but that wouldn't stop you. I mean, you have tons of room over here to do forestry if that's your thing. The shop and everything's over here. I'll just speed this up again here. Get over there a little bit. But you got tons of room to play with. You can open these fields up if you like. But it's not cluttered. There's no shrubs and trees just for the sake of shrubs and trees. They put enough in to make it look good. But I find a lot of maps, they're just tree happy. I mean, like they're literally packing them one next to the other throughout the entirety of the map, which really adds nothing. But it sure takes away your frame rate. You know, don't think that's my issue per se, but I know a lot of people it would be. Boy, it's windy over there. Let's get out of there. The wind is, I might even have it in my settings. I probably have the, whoops, wrong one. Probably have the volume level for the environment. Yeah, I've got it up pretty loud. Let's tame that out a little bit. But, yeah. They're talking to us. Say hello. Hello, Dolly. Okay. Anyways, I think we'll call that a wrap. Oh, by the way, I love the junk car they put in the field here. That's great. Oh, I want to show you this. I did find a mod for old-looking barns. But it just so happened this stuff was already here. They had planted this here. This was here, all this junk pile. And I found a barn that just totally fit right in with it. And I thought, this is great. You know, I'll put that right over there. And it just kind of added to the whole thing. Yeah, that's great. I love having that barn there. It just added to the junk pile. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's something about old barns. If I could show it to you, I would. Actually, I think I can. Just give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can see it in my miscellaneous, I think it is. No, it's not miscellaneous. Let's get back. It must be in sheds. There's the lizard farm garage mod that I got with the doors that open. Yeah, see, here's the old barns. It's a lizard mod, so it came off SF17 or 19, the farming simulator mod site. And yeah, there they are, the old barns. And if you were curious, there is the I also utilized the big red shed here. There's even a bigger one. This one here is what I put over what was the silo pit. And again, a mod off of the farming simulator mod site. But that's a wrap. Don't be shy. I mean, I think I got 8 views on the last one. Again, I'm just testing. I haven't even started to do any real true episodes. Again, nothing is scripted yet. And but if you do see this, please give me a thumbs up, because that'll help me get going. And don't be afraid to leave me a comment. I'm doing this. I'm not the only one who does it, but I'm a rare one that will be doing this. A kind of a high-res adaptation of episodes for Farming Simulator 19. If you appreciate how good it looks, and anything else you might want to comment, hopefully the volume levels, I've got the mix correct now. If not, I'll be listening to it as soon as it gets uploaded to YouTube. If you do see the 1440 indicator that I put into the description and it's not, just give YouTube a second, because they can take a couple hours to 3 hours to render a 1440p plus resolution. So it tends to sit at 360 forever. If you see it at 360, give it a couple hours, come back, and it should look pretty crispy. But yeah, if you have any suggestions or positive comments on the graphics, or anything positive you want to say, or negative, within reason, of course. Don't tear my head off. I'm just trying here, trying to have fun, and I find doing this is fun, and that's why I'm doing it. Leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.